Greetings to you all. The title of our today's topic is A Quick Tour in Past, Part 4. Fatal Challenges of Evils. The illustrations without any content. In 1996, I traveled to a less technologically developed country in Central Asia. The scenery was a deplorable sight. The whole country was surrounded by poverty. As an example, I asked the policeman how to drive to a place, and his answer was, keep driving straight until you see a mountain. Then turn right, and then you will come across a hill with a tree on top. There you should turn left and drive to the end of the road. Speaking of the roads, if my car had a mouth, it would really curse me. In another journey of mine, in year 2000, I have been guest in one of the developing countries. I took a taxi. It was a version of an old Fiat 131, of course, with a different brand on it. When I entered the car, I hit my head to the inner door frame. The car wasn't made to high quality standard and has been on the market for over 30 years. A few years later, I also traveled to another developing country where, in one case, one end of extremism was visible to the naked eye. While there, I went to one of the greatest scholars in history. To my surprise, I also met one of his disciples. I had a camcorder with me and tried to film the scholar's graveyard landscape. He had a room up top with a panoramic view and lived there about 1200 years ago. Again, the scenery was a deplorably horrible sight. People have been discriminating against the dead by not putting a stone on his grave, with the intention that the person in the grave be forgotten forever. Except there was another scholar whose grave was decorated with gold and everything. My camcorder stopped filming at that point in time. I thought the battery was low, so I went to a store to charge, but the battery was fine. It was strange. I went back to the cemetery, and on the way back I filmed the old historic remains of the town. Arrived on the spot, this time I got scared because the camcorder stopped again. I decided to leave the place. Leaving the place was the best option to choose. Just a few years earlier, people had been massacred in Eastern Europe. At the time, I didn't really realize the situation, but years after this massacre, I noticed by journals around the world some of the truths about the countries involved. Some had come to fight, some had gone to protect innocent people but let them die, and some fled to survive. In this scenery, there were people who believed in a God, people who believed in nothing, people who pretended to protect democracies around the world. God bless you all. Till our next part. Bye.